People be talking about the work, oh, I gotta heal my trauma. Shit, you gotta heal your joy so you can be able to maintain it.
Whether you're a life coach, therapist, biohacker, invested in wellness, or in the healthcare profession, if you have an intention to work in psychedelic spaces, you're in the right place then. If you're called, get involved. But first, get informed. Let's talk the 4 N's: intake, intention, in-space integration, leading to deeper transformations. Psychedelic Coach Podcast, Todd Cole. Walk you through the process, it's all possible. Leave space for the follow through. Most importantly, integration is not optional.
Y'all, I'm so excited for today's episode. Now, one thing you may not know about the Condor approach is my deepest desire and wish is that people take these concepts and speak it in their own language so that their community understands. And today's episode is a perfect representation of that. So you're going to hear from Condor Master Coach Sincere 7 of the Psychonaut Academy of Detroit and Tatiana from House of Genesis, who have attended the live events and I think do an incredible job of applying these terms and sharing how it's impacting their personal life, their business, and how they are moving as a result. So check out today's episode and I'll see you on the other side.
I'm Sincere 7 from the Psychonaut Academy of Detroit.
And I'm Tatiana, House of Genesis.
And we're here kicking about just that for a little bit. We like to do cushion coffees with a cap, do videos, you know. What's the other one that we be doing? Philosophy, urban philosophies, where we sit and discuss different things and just talk about these things that affect us as a community, as society, as a people, as villages, as families. But that's what we're here to kick it about. I appreciate Tatiana for actually bringing and presenting this subject, because that's how we do it. Before we go live, is this something to really talk about? And we'll sit with it, because there could be some of these things, they're so multifaceted, so many sections to them, you know what I mean? So many parts to them, and some people don't just want to take the time to sit and break those things down. But if you are one of those people who feel like that, man, I'm not utilizing my power, I'm not utilizing my gifts, I'm not fully living in the me like I should and could be, and I want to, you know what I'm saying? I really want to, but I don't know how. That's what we're here to do. We specialize in alchemy, taking things from one form, a base level, and transforming them to a higher form of, because isn't that what life is all about?
I just be like, let's just get on there and whatever the fuck flow, let it flow. You know what I'm saying? That's not really what happens. We always end up cultivating. And my thing was, I know a lot of people are really transforming within their lives. I know a lot of people that are around me. And I know, with that being said, it has required a lot of people to go internal. And they've been separating from the people that they normally talk to on a regular basis, just so that they can go within themselves and hear that internal guidance, versus fogging your mind with other people's ideas of whatever your reality is supposed to be. You actually are taking the time to go within yourself and really hearing the guidance for your path per your end goal, not nobody else's, and not what nobody thinks it should be. Right? Once you realize who you are and what your purpose is and what it is that you're supposed to be offering to the world, there comes in the step of, how do I get to that now? You know what I'm saying? Like, now that I know these things, how do I cultivate my life to be beneficial towards these new goals that I have, or these new ideas of what my reality is supposed to be?
How do I integrate that?
How do I integrate that shit into my life?
Yeah. Let me ask you. So by what you just said, I don't want to say more or less, like I'm always trying to like compartmentalize your shit or nothing, but when you were saying, I'll say it like this, when you were saying what you were saying, it put me in the mind of speaking about allowing people to make projections and insertions about your journey, your path, and what you're doing. Is that kind of what you were saying? Okay, yeah. I thought so.
Yeah.
I thought so. And with that being said, I most definitely agree with that. I feel like that was a very good place to start.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because I know you don't be watching my lives, but I just actually did a live maybe 2 or 3 days ago about not allowing people to project and make insertions into you and yourself and your soul into your healing. And I was speaking about people who have been told that they got evil spirits connected to them. You know, because that's what a lot of practitioners feel like is all diseases and illnesses. I read a post the other day that said, as practitioners, we need to know that when these clients come to us, they have evil spirits attached to them. Period. End of post. And I was like, damn. You so right. And so that's what sparked me to start that, because I myself have had clients that have come to me and have spoken on what they feel like. And I'm like, where did you get that? And it was like, so-and-so told me, or this person told me, and then they put me through this and that. And I'm like, okay, if they told you that and then they put you through this and that, did it work? Because how did you end up with me? And it was like, no, it didn't work. Well, maybe that's because they didn't know what they was talking about, and you ain't got no evil spirits attached to you. And you never needed nobody to pour motherfucking goat, you know what I'm saying, blood and whatever else. You know what I'm saying? And not to say that somebody might not need that at some point, you know what I'm saying? But magic is different than evil spirits, which is different than a bad diet, which is different than karma.
Okay, talk about the karma. Hello.
You know what I'm saying? Well, the karma is something that once you've lived a life of savage, what I'll say, savage actions, and then you receive what we might call knowledge of self, and you change your actions to that of a righteous individual, that does not clear your debt. Like you still got to pay that.
You still got to pay that.
And now that you have the knowledge of self and are aware of the actions that you have taken and where you're trying to get to, you take it with your chin up. You accept that. If you want to cry about it while it's happening, you can. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But you damn sure better not complain about it, because this is what you have to get through. Okay, you cleaning yourself up, cool. Now go ahead and get your karma back. So now your debt's clear and you can walk with your head up.
Period.
So don't let people project and insert into you what they feel like you going through, because you know your story. That's why I'll make it. Okay, can I tell you something's coming up for me? And I want you to tell me how you feel about this. I'm feeling like it could quite possibly be done. What do you think about that? Do you feel like you've been in a situation where that could be? And it's now you could be like, no, my karma's not fucked up, but my diet is fucked up. So that part kind of resonates. You know what I'm saying?
Being able to self-identify things within yourself or whatever. And this is why that solitude is sometimes good. Not isolation, because people always like, oh, I'm so lonely. And oh, stop isolating yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like solitude is completely different. Solitude is still being able
What's the difference?
Being able to engage and still be effective in life and maintain your relationships. You know what I'm saying? And still doing whatever internal work is necessary. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe not being as engaging with your friends, but reaching out every once in a while. Yo, I'm thinking about you, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Isolation is I'm not talking to nobody. I'm not communicating. I'm not going nowhere. I'm not doing this. I'm not. It's just literally.
So the difference is the level of communication.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? In order to maintain
calling
relationship.
Calling the motherfucker and let them know I ain't talking to you, but it ain't you. I'm in some shit.
Yeah, I'm just trying to take care of my own shit right now, which a lot of people know. That's why I said this is a collective thing right now. So a lot of people are already aware. So when it does come time and space for that connection, you already know it's about to be like, girl or nigga, let me tell you about this shit here. You know what I'm saying? These are the things that I'm going through. And then when y'all are finally in a space where you can commune, then you can give each other tips and tricks on how y'all navigate it through these different things, so that whatever next level you're reaching, you'll have more tools to be able to guide yourself through that space and time. It's just about knowing where you are and how to navigate that space. And knowing that is knowing yourself. What do you need? You know what I'm saying? Like me and the old man the last couple of days been playing with that AI shit. You know what I'm saying? There's so many different views on it or whatever, but you either go use it or let it use you. So you decide how you want your life to be surrounded by that or whatever, but we for sure use it. And it has allowed us to cultivate different tools for us to move forward in the proper way that is aligned for us in business and in lifestyle and in so many things. And if people really knew the tools that are available to them, then they would actually move better in life, and they'll be able to use their gifts, abilities, and all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? To be able
that is a fact.
to
Oh,
manifest the
wow.
life that they truly
I see what you
desire.
just did there.
You know what I'm saying? Damn, like you gotta learn yourself to even know how to navigate through fucking life. So you can know how to navigate with. Then once you learn yourself, and this is an ongoing process, there'll never be a place of perfection of knowing
Full knowledge
yourself.
yourself. That's
You know what
right.
I'm saying? This is an ongoing process. And while you're
Facts.
doing that, you find space and time to learn the individuals that you are around cultivating life with, so that you'll be able to push through whatever it is that is coming in front of you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, however you're navigating through life, you're making sure that you're doing it as perfect as
Shout out to
possible.
Lydia.
You know what I'm saying?
For perfection makes me perfect.
That's it. And the only way you can strive for perfection is learning yourself, because it has nothing to do with anybody else. It has nothing to do with no one else's views, no one else's desires, no one else's anything. This is literally focused on you.
You know what I just thought about?
Tell me.
We're talking about why people are not tapping in and using their full powers, abilities, all of this, right?
Yes.
And we're saying that a lot of it is rooted in the lack of knowledge in self. And with the lack of knowledge of self, also a toxicity or too much of other people's projections and insertions into your journey, your life, your path, your decisions, right? When we're talking about knowledge of self, and these people who are listening and they say, the fuck is you talking about? My name is so and so, and I'm this old, and I'm from here. I got knowledge of who the fuck I am. What do we mean? Maybe should we tap in a little bit and tell them what we mean when we're saying knowledge of self? What are some of the examples that we can give them of things that they might need to study about themselves to be able to reach these? You see? Yeah, talk to them. Talk to them. They talk bad, talk a little shit, because we talk that.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
First and foremost, I think that what most people know about is their astrology chart. That's an important. I think that that's why I said most people.
I'm just having fun.
Most people, they kind of, if they've not have an understanding of it, they've at least heard it before, because that's the time and space that we're in within reality, right? And then there's human design, and there's also gene keys. You know what I'm saying? And these things help you deep dive within the most sacred parts of yourself to have a full understanding of who you are and how you're supposed to be navigating through life. And nobody can't fuck with that, period. You know what I'm saying? This is like you. It's your customized blueprint to how you were designed. But yeah, it's just giving you a deep dive into the way that you digest your food, the environment that you're supposed to be in, the type of sex life that you're supposed to have and that you desire, the expansive way that you're supposed to make money. You know what I'm saying? Your purpose, your trauma, and how to get over it.
But what's functional for
What's
you?
functional for you?
What's most functional for you?
Yes.
Shout out to Todd Cole Whitty at the Condor approach for giving us more vocabulary, giving us more ways to communicate with our village and community to where we can all be comfortable and understand where we're coming from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like when you just said everything that you just said, it took me into the mind of some of those principles. You know what I mean? So shout out to them. So the human design and it being the custom blueprint instruction manual for you as a custom vehicle in this world, right? And tapping into that. I love human design. And let me just say, astrology, human design are some big ones. Another one that I love that as these things get more advanced is getting less recognition, but man, hold fast, is that numerology.
We talked about that though, like numerology gives the basis of everything else. Like numerology is really the foundation because it's a mathematical sequence. You know what I'm saying? So that's the foundation of the universe.
Right.
So everything is built off of numerology, no matter what you're doing. And when you go into these different gates and these different channels, they are using numbers. There is no escaping numerology. All of this shit is a mathematical equation that makes, you know what I'm saying? So it's maybe they're not identifying that the basis of everything that they're learning, understanding, and teaching is off of that, but it's very much present.
And also, I would like to say that For me, numerology is used a lot more as a roadmap on the journey than it is the vehicle. Human design is the vehicle. I use numerology as the roadmap. What's my life path
Tag
number?
me in it.
My life path number is 7.
Seven.
Yours is 3.
Yes.
So that right there, like I always tell you, I'd be frustrated and I'd be like, oh, her life path number is 3. Nigga, let that go.
Yeah.
She's childlike. There's going to be what I would refer to as childish or childlike behaviors. It's natural. I'm a mystic. I'm always asking why, trying to go deeper, trying to dissect, trying to seek out.
Yes.
Right. And when we know these things about each other,
Oh my goodness.
then we can understand, like when you spill some juice and be like, oops, yeah, of course, it's okay. That's what 3s do.
Right.
And when I go and take something and go and start investigating and going deeper, he like, dog, isn't that it? That's what 7s do, right?
Yes.
And so that numerology, but what's your path vibration?
You talk about like this year?
Yeah, this year.
Oh, I'm 6.
Mine's is
I know I'm 5.
yeah, and mine's is a 7.
Yes.
So this year, there's going to be a lot of change, travel, different things going for you. For me, I'm going to be going real introspective, inside of self, taking time away, going into the mystical parts. All right, next year, right? And so when that's what I mean by that roadmap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But still, even within that roadmap, because that's what I was gonna say, you're identifying with your numerology, you being a 7 and that of things. Then I'm saying, okay, but in your human design, you being an emotional manifesting generator, that also associates with that Cancer moon. You being a 1-3 profile, also it correlates with you being a 7 because you still have that investigative and experimental energy.
5,
You know what I'm saying? So it still corresponds with each other. They still work very well together, and being able to know all of these things really just tie into why any of it makes sense.
And see, these are some of the things that when we are talking to people, our clients, and they're telling us about these challenges that they're going through. Let me be very clear. This is real shit right here. The majority of the time, the worse the challenges, the worse off our client is, the worse things they're going through in their relationship, with their money, with their family. When we get to asking them,
what show this and what show that?
They have no idea.
Yeah.
They have, what do you mean? I don't know what that is. I don't, and it's, you don't need a medicine journey. You don't need mushrooms. You need a human design reading. You need an astrology reading. You need to build numerology and understand that this month, that's not even what you're supposed to be focused on. You see what I'm saying? That's coming. But right now, you got to focus on this. And those are the type of things that we're talking about. This is what we mean. When we have clients and we're talking, and it's okay, like I'm good at this and I'm going through this, but I'm just having this one little challenge right here. Usually those people, they know most of their information of themselves. They know their numerology, they know their human design, they know astrologically. They're just stuck on, and that's where it's like, oh, okay, you need a counseling session with, you know what I'm saying, the cushion coffee, or you know what I'm saying, or it's coming up that I'm having this trauma about okay, let's do a mushroom journey. Because sometimes you'll be having these suffrages, and we'll go back to your human design and we'll say, not just do you know it, but are you living in your design?
When you get this information, we talked about how you integrate with it and needing that assistance to be able to be like, all right, now I have this information about it. Like, you have a literal personal assistant. It is up to you to use that personal assistant as your inspiration to gain motivation within yourself to actually do the things that your assistant helped you to gather. Your assistant said, here are the details of how you need to run your business. These are the things that you need to focus on. Then you come and say, okay, now I need to do this. You're inspired, you're excited, you have all of these things in front of you that your assistant gathered for you. Now it is your duty to be motivated within yourself to do the shit.
Responsibility.
In self-responsibility, and the assistant is literally catering it to you per your design, per your astrology chart, so that you don't have any excuse on why this won't work for you, because it's literally functionable for you.
Anybody who is giving you business advice, marketing advice, social media management, business creation, and they have not asked you your date of birth, where you was born, and your time of birth,
Run. No, I'm just you
just
say.
take the information that they give you and then bring it back and give it to your assistant and say, is all of this information in tune with with myself? Because who is the assistant you're talking about? Let's be clear. ChatGPT. Just so y'all know, if y'all not like following along. Once you get all of this, you tell it, ask it, is all of this within my design and who I am? Because we found out that us assisting each other with our businesses without talking to each other within our human designs, we were hindering each other. Because I'm telling her to operate one way. She's telling me to operate one way, but she's telling me based off her human design. I'm telling her based off of mine. So the advice that I'm giving is excellent for myself. It's horrible for her.
Absolutely.
And the advice she was giving is excellent for herself. And it was horrible for me.
And it's so funny because the more you know about yourself, the more you can operate within that realm and be making sure that you're operating in oneness with your partner. You know what I'm saying? Because us being able to identify those things in business literally allow me to be like, all right, this is what you need to take care of. When it come to that, don't come asking me because I will always be like, go up, up. And he gonna be like, and it's gonna fuck him up. You know what I'm saying? Whereas he needs to just be like, wherever he feels like he needs to be. Like my shit is just gonna be like, I'm sorry, that's not enough.
She a turn up artist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a flow chart. And so we have to now, because we will constantly go back and we'll go back and we'll not check each other, but we'll check what we're doing. We'll say, okay, let's look at the last quarter income. Why isn't this things coming in like they were? Let's look at what our relationship is. Why are these things thriving more than they were? What were the changes that was made? What changes should be made? Where are we? And then it'd be like, all right, and we'll be looking, and it'd be like, we constantly will re-update. That's another thing, y'all. Just because you get knowledge yourself don't mean, oh, okay, I already got to read. If you got a human design reading 3 years ago, get another one. Because it gets deeper.
I had one almost be a year ago. And then I just had one just more like recent. And it was on we just running through shit real quick. And it was like, all right, get it together. Because now I hear things differently because a lot of the things that I heard in the first human design reading, I started implementing into my life. And I started integrating into the things that I started doing. And I started cultivating my practice different and my lifestyle different. And now that I'm integrated with these things, it was like, she was like, you remember I had told you this too? Yeah. Now it's time to go back to that. And it's so many things that are eye-opening at such an expansive space. Because as now I'm open, I don't have that closed logic ceiling where I'm operating from a rigid space. Now I'm open to being like, oh no, I'm accepting of this. I'm excited. I know how to move forward with this information that I'm getting. And it's an interesting journey.
And,
you know what I'm saying?
Now, let me throw out this too. I can tell you about the Intentions and Manifestation Alchemy of Self Magic course and how this will assist you or staying in point, right? I can tell you about these different programs, these different classes, courses, and things, right? But I'm going to keep it real 100 and keep it real simple. This is how you stay on track with the 4 N's process: intake, intentions, in space, integration. So you got to do an intake of your life. Where am I at right now? Am I happy with where I'm at? Where do I want to be? What have I done that I'm proud of? What can I do more of? Where's my diet? Where's my nutrition? Where's my health? Where's my relationships with my family, with my community? Where's my finances? Where's my all of this, right? You do an intake. But now that you have this, you've taken account of everything. Now you can take an accountability and say, all right, what are my intentions? What do I want to do? What do I want to be? Where do I want to go? What do I want to understand? What do I want to create? Right? That's the intentions that you're setting. Then you go into the space of manifesting those intentions. And then once you've manifested them, this is something that's not spoken about a lot, is this is something grand that just happened. This is something big. You just went through a large change. Even if it was good, you started a business. You've increased your income 3 times over.
Oh my goodness.
How are you integrating that?
That shit still requires, your nervous system is still in shock. And I will give it the example so that you can have an understanding. We've been wanting to move so that we can start back operating things in a more functional way. We get the opportunity to do, and it's not very far. It's literally next door. And packing up and moving and doing all the things that it required really had me shook. It was still so much change that was happening so fast. And my body was like, yeah, bitch, okay. Like, I know it's all good, but this still feels like when it was some bullshit. And it was like I had to go in and identify that, oh my gosh, this is some grand stuff that is happening, but my body is still triggered in remembrance of what had happened. And now I have to remind it, like, nope, this is all good now because we're moving in a space of goodness. We're moving into a space of growth and joy. So, yes, these things did occur, but now we've learned from these experiences and now we're moving forward. So, recognize this feeling as growth, recognize this feeling as love and abundance. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to recognize this feeling as traumatic any longer. So it's just reprogramming my cells to understand that this is a joyful thing now. That shit actually takes work, like daily work. People be talking about the work, oh, I gotta heal my trauma. Shit, you gotta heal your joy. What the fuck? So you can be able to maintain it.
Yourself be able to accept joy. I like that.
Man.
Siobhan, is a human design reading a lot different than a natal reading, or is it one and the same? No, it's a lot different. It is a lot different. Where a natal chart reading, astrology, let me be clear. I have an astrologist and I have a human design, what would you call them? Consultant, a human design consultant. I have both. Analysis, right, all of that. And they're both very important. They're both very important. If I had to only choose one, I would choose the human design because it incorporates a lot of astrology. It just don't explain where it's at. It's in there. It just don't tell you it's in there. But they are different. And I do see value in both of them. You know what I mean? And I am a numerologist. But if I wasn't, I would have one of those too. You know what I'm saying? You want to have a numerologist. You want to have an astrologist. You want to have a human design analysis. You want to have an herbologist. And you want to have a medicine man in your circle.
And a gene key. Because
gene keys most definitely
is equally as important as the human design.
You can't focus on your money and business until you foundate your mental and your health and all of that, right? At a root base, I feel like the gene keys is a higher level of. And I feel like that's, when you starting to get into some more focused movements. But that's just my personal, I'm not a pro in it. So it might be just as important in the beginning. But when I got my reading, that's how I seen it. It was like, okay, this is the higher level of, this is, you know what I'm saying, where I really get focused in on my money and, you know what I'm saying, the aspects of me that I utilize for social, financial, things of that nature. So I don't know.
I can dig that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can dig that. It's you going into high society.
Peace, Ace. That cardology, it definitely is fire.
I always
definitely
about that. That cardology shit is.
All of these classes are offered in the Psychonaut Academy of Detroit curriculum for 2025. That's the funny thing, because cardology is in there. And so, yes, that is another. And also, I would say that would be one of those next level, like still within the knowledge of self arena, though.
Yeah.
So for sure, Ace, yo, thank
That
you for
shit
pointing
is,
that
that
out.
shit is
It
definitely
definitely is.
that's some intense shit.
It's like the mysticism part of the knowledge of self series. You know what I mean? And if you really want to just go a little deeper, just for fun and knowledge, if you're a nerd like me and just love not the palmology,
Oh yeah.
the palmology, the reading of the palms,
Yeah.
I'm reading your palms and telling you how to utilize your powers, gifts, and abilities. And also, I know that it's suggestive. It's suggestive. And you got to keep that in mind. Don't ever go in thinking that everything about to be said is solidification. Remember, the oracle told Neo he ain't the one.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that. Because he wasn't until he was.
Mm-hmm.
But he never would have been had she not told him he wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Or would he? Watch out. Don't knock that vase down. What vase? Suggestive. Would he have knocked the vase down if there wasn't a suggestion? Will we ever know? Remember how magic works. There's a lot of suggestion. There's a lot of creation through words and spells being brought forth and utilized. And me being a practitioner in the magic realms, I know the importance of moving cautiously into these realms and allowing people openings into. And so I'm not saying don't give people readings. Just be aware of who you're giving. She just told you what happened.
This is why I tell people a lot of I like the people that I work with or whatever, or even the people that I hang around. I always invite them to stop listening to any tarot divinations that they normally listen to. Stop listening to anything on TikTok. Stop reading the posts that people make on Facebook about your sign or anything like that. Like, just stop consuming outside sources to confirm who you are, what you're doing, or anything like that. Like, stop reaching outside of yourself, right? And do it, try it for a week. You know what I'm saying? Like, just try not listening to shit for a week and just tapping into your own body. And you'll recognize that if you tried it for a week and then you decide, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna check social media real quick, you'll see that all of the messages that you receive now are being confirmed because you relied on your own internal knowing and knowledge for some information that you were trying to get guidance on, or some internal shit you was trying to work out, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So an invitation to just stop consuming outside things, stop trying to always get a reading, and trust your internal knowing. Tap into yourself so that you can get the real message of what you're supposed to be in and shit.
It ain't a good or a bad, it's how you operate. And that's what you want. Somebody just give it straight to you. No suggestive shit with it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like I said, I got different people for different, but yeah, she definitely my human design analysis. You know what I'm saying?
She told me the other day, she said, listen, bitch. She said, we can have one or two problems. She said, we can have broke bitch problems, or we can have rich bitch problems. She was like, which would you prefer to have? I was like, rich bitch problems. She was like, exactly. She was like, we ain't got time for none of that stinky ass, broken ass energy. That's not what we're about. She was like, and this is how you take care of that. And she talks to me in the way that I can understand it. She's, wait a minute. I'm not going to confuse your brain with all of that. She said, because my girl, you shouldn't even be thinking about that shit. Let me get back focused on what you are capable of thinking about. I was like, oh my God, because that's what makes sense. Is if you give me too much of something, it's going to scatter me, because I'm going to try to have to do all of these tasks at the same time. And now I have somebody that understands that this is what you need to be focusing on completely and wholeheartedly, and find somebody else to do the rest.
And it's dope when you got people in your circle who, because Oye is good at this too. He'll talk to me based off my design, and he'll say it. He might even say, you 1-3. So you investigative martyr, you like, it ain't no need in telling you, oh, go around, because you're going to do it anyway. And he speaks to me in my design, and it makes it easier. It makes it like, oh shit, okay, cool. Because he's right. You know what I'm saying? And so when you have not just knowledge of yourself, but knowledge of your people, you're like, because you're going to take this in and you're going to learn so much about yourself then it's going to cause you to learn a lot about your family, your friends. Because you're going to ask them, what's your, before I even respond, what's your, you know what? You're supposed to wait for an invitation. Let me invite you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't even know that was a thing. I got to wait until my emotions calm down before making a decision. I'd be happy as hell and just be like, respond, hey, hell yeah, I'm with it. All right, bet, tomorrow, bet. Then tomorrow I'll wake up and I'll be like, I don't want to do that shit. But if I would have just waited until my emotions came down and came back, that's why I used to have to come back and I'm sorry about what I said here. I'm emotional. Let your emotions calm down before you even respond. So now we talk to each other in our design. She'll be like, but you ain't got to say nothing back. Wait till your emotions down there. I talk to me when you're ready, unless you want to talk. You know what I'm saying? And I be, I don't want to talk.
Yes, you do.
I don't want to talk. I'm mad. You know what I'm saying? If I'm talk, I want to fucking fit and complain and bitch.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear that shit?
Yeah.
She'd be like, absolutely not. And I'd be like, fine. I don't want to talk. And then I go find somebody to talk to, and I bitch and complain and vent. And they'd be like, hey, you ever thought about it like this? And I'd be like, no, I didn't. Oh, shit. Okay, I can see why. And then I come back, I'm still mad, but I'm ready to talk, though. We leave room for that.
And you have to be comfortable enough to tell your partner, no, you don't want to talk. You know what I'm saying? Because he is a big energy. And I know that if we going through things or whatever, it's like, oh, okay, he about to be acting like this. Is my nervous system prepared for that? And I'm going to be honest about it. No.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't. I want to, and he be like, you don't care. And I'd be like, all right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not responding because I do care. If I respond, you know what I'm saying?
Time.
Like, it's never going
don't
to be.
Give emotional artists a response.
It's never going to be good. It's never going to be good because you're already in a space where you're so tight and you're so wound up that you can't hear anything that I'm saying because you are a raging bull. I'm not about to waste my time and energy. Yeah, bitch, please. I ain't got wrinkles because I'm going to
transmutate it into something else. So when she start to try to, it's like more, right? So when she just be like, whatever, and ignore it, it gives me the ability to be like, all right, there's nothing to defend myself from.
It just starts
and then as it starts to slow down, now I can start to see if this response is warranted, if this is from emotions, and there's no shame space because she didn't respond.
And I was like, it was so funny because later on we talked, I was like, there is no reason or way that I was about to talk to you. At that time, I told him, and I expressed to him so that he had a better understanding of when we go through different things, he'll have an understanding of why I'm responding the way that I'm responding. Because do not engage.
It protects her. Look, she's responding based off her knowing my design. And this allows both of us to express ourselves at our greatest, at our most, without threat to anybody or each other. And so that's why we're discussing this, because going back to the discussion of what this whole film is and what this whole video is about, why isn't people tapping into their powers, tapping into their abilities, tapping into all of their natural things that are given to them, is because a lot of times they don't understand how to express these things fully.
Yes.
One, from knowledge of self, two, from the environment who's against them. And you need to educate your environment. It's okay to tell people, listen, y'all might not know what human design is, but I am a blah, 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 blah. So this is how we operate. This is how I'm only going to explain it to you once. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's an opportunity to teach you,
right? And so that way they can start to help you to integrate these things into your life moving forward. Because once you find out how you operate, who you are, what your gifts are, what your abilities are, well, now you need an environment that's conducive to the growth and development of these things within you. That's the second part. The first part is just understanding that you have them. So that's something to just keep in mind. There's levels to this. You know what I'm saying? There's levels to it. And this is, again, in space, intention, intake, intention, in space, integration. It's like a heartbeat. And once you finish that integration, you take another intake now of your life, because you just integrated all that. Now things are going lovely. Your relationships are good. Your business is good. Money's coming in. All of the things are the way that you want them. And you've integrated this and it feels lovely. Now take another intake of everything. What's the next thing you want to do? What's the next thing you want to focus on? Remember, there's a difference in a healing journey and a character growth and development journey. Please make a clear understanding of the difference and decide which one you're on.
Oh my goodness.
Because you should only be on one or the other.
I'm on both of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't advise that, not at the same time. A lot of people keep saying that they're on a healing journey and you speaking things, projections and insertions onto self that is not true. You're not on a healing journey. Nothing is wrong with you. There's nothing bad, broken, disturbed, any of that. Things can be better. Ain't nothing wrong with that. When I go to the gym and I'm working out, I'm like, what you healing from? What? What are you talking about? Oh, is this physical therapy? No, it's not.
Okay.
No, it's not. I'm working out. This is trying to improve on, right? You know what I'm saying? Whatever, right? And it's the same thing. Everybody's not on the healing journey. That became the cool word since 2020. You know what I'm saying? And if you are, that's fine. We'll deal with that. But some of you all are on growth and development journeys. And when you understand that, then you can speak correctly into yourself. You can speak correctly into yourself, which is very important. Your mantras have to match your journey. And if you speak in healing mantras and you're on a growth and development, your body, soul, all of this is going, wait a minute, we need to focus on healing. Wait, what's wrong? I don't know, but we need to find it. And now we're searching. And magic is anything that you observe immediately as you observe it alters immediately. So understand that you could be in good health, and as soon as you start looking for something else, then you can create something else. These are some very important principles that are not spoken about a lot, that are not given. These are mouth to ear. These are initiations. These are rites of passages. These are the mysticisms that are passed from students to students from their teachers and things of this nature. But at this time, as they say, there's no more light to be given, going through the solar flares, all the lumens that are entering the universe, and the Aquarian age taking full activation, and where all the superhuman abilities, gifts, and powers is coming from. Why do you think all of a sudden everybody's talking about these powers, these gifts, these abilities? You know what I'm saying? Some people who have not been updated are not understanding what they're talking about. They think they're talking some bullshit or some mystery shit or whatever. But those of us who have been initiated into, you know what I'm saying, the next phases of whatever's going on is seeing it clearly. You know what I'm saying? And the babies, man, we think that, you know what I'm saying, as indigo children, as I'll refer to a lot of us, that we came upon some shit. The babies of us and the babies of, come on, man. It gets more to where they're just going to utilize these powers and abilities. They're not going to need to be cracked open with pain and suffering like a lot of us, or have to be taught and educated properly like the children of us. They're going to come out as those what's called rainbow children, where this shit just is natural. It's just, it's going to just
be perfect. Shit.
You know what I'm
in a
saying?
sense of whatever that could be.
Right. Perfect functioning of the gifts, abilities, and powers bestowed upon them.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So what's stopping you? What's stopping you from being at your greatest? What's stopping you from walking in your power? What's stopping you from utilizing your gifts, your abilities, your powers?
Why haven't you offered your gifts and abilities to society?
We just really wanted to tap in and just be an inspiration. I feel like it's a difference between motivation and inspiration. Motivation is the whys. Always have your whys. Know why you're doing stuff. I'm doing this to better myself. I'm doing this to take care of my family. I'm doing this to help my community. I'm doing this for whatever it is. And when your whys are not enough to keep you going, you know what I'm saying? Update your whys. Why am I doing this? Your whys is what makes you wise. That is motivation. When that runs out, that's where you look for inspiration. That comes from other people, other things, whether it be the trees, the frogs, the medicine work. You know what I'm saying? Somebody you love, somebody that loves you. Their spirit entering into you. Their words of encouragement, their words of you can do it. You can do it. Yo, on some real shit. You feel that you like, I can do it. Yeah, that's inspiration. So just know also the difference in those things and keep those in your toolbox. Know what your motivations are and when to tap in with them and know when shit, this is not enough. I'm looking at you say, okay, it's for my kids, it's for my woman, but they getting on my nerves right now. So that's not gonna make me motivate. And then I need somebody to inspire me. You know what I'm saying? Another dude maybe to be like, bro, you already know it ain't really about them, it's about us. Cause if we don't do this for them, we gonna look like, wait, I'm gonna look like I ain't shit. Oh no, I can't. Let me get up and go get my shit together. I needed some inspiration. It might have been a masculine, you know what I'm saying, comparison as opposed to that feminine acceptance, right? So all of these different things, know where you fall short at and always have you something in your toolbox ready to pull out when you hit that. You know what I'm saying? I got condors. I don't got nobody on speed dial, so let me not lie. But I got condors in my phone. Like when I hit any type of mental, spiritual, emotional, financial, physical, sexual, any type of, I got a condor that I can just click and just hit, and we have mutual context, words, understandings, and boundaries that I can get intimate with.
Ooh, you know what my favorite thing about Condor is? Everything.
Everything.
But what I really love about it is when you're at Condor, you're taking in so much information and your body is processing so many different things. So it's like when you finally leave Condor, it'd be what the fuck? And then you get into these life situations and you realize that you've actually absorbed everything that has been said to you and you have integrated that shit into your body. And it all happened galactically because you were literally not there the whole time because it's too much of an experience of being there and being present. So it's like all of that is getting downloaded into you. And then you come out of it and you're like word vomiting the shit. And it's not even a thought. It's just literally a natural response. You know what I'm saying? And it's like a natural switch or whatever. And it's with me and him or whatever, like in conversation, he's making me think a lot more or whatever and ask proper questions or navigate conversations in a different way. And he's reminding me, like, remember, this is putting people in this space and this is doing that. I'm like, oh shit, okay, like let me just say it like this because everything is about wordplay. You know what I'm saying? And being able to speak to that part of the brain so that the client or the person or whoever feels safe and knowing that the information that's being exchanged is going to be protected. So yeah, I love Condor. That shit is lit.
Yeah. I found myself having a conversation with somebody and I'm like, no, that's not the problem with love. It's the problem with intimacy. And then I started going into intimacy and I was explaining, no, you can't because you got to first be able to tolerate motherfucker before you can accept them. You know what I'm saying? I'm just dropping this and I'm going through the whole thing. And by the time I got to the end of it, I said, oh shit. I just rolled the whole roadmap of intimacy down. And I was like, shout out Todd. And I know this right sitting there because of Todd. You know what I'm saying? Because I literally realized right then and there what just happened. And that's why I always try to give a shout out to them when, because I'll find myself in conversations just going through and be like, yo, that shit is, and then be like, wait, that shit was like, hell yeah.
Yes.
These are all the context
That
words, all the language.
programmed.
Man,
It's like
it's cool to be a condor.
It's so cool to be a condor because everybody that's there that is learning this is we are getting, DNA upgrades. And then the people that are there that are going through this portal or whatever, and then incorporating snake venom into it, it's just like, now that is like even more upgrades. Do y'all realize what the fuck the world is going into? You know what I'm saying? Do y'all really have an understanding of what the age of Aquarius has brought? Baby.
You just hit another level.
I'm about to start talking to y'all like these voter registration people do.
Oh Lord, don't do it.
All they motherfucking love pressure.
Many come, few are chosen. And the ones who are chosen choose they self. Yeah. But we invite y'all though. You feel me?
Yeah.
Man, this was dope, man. This was dope. This was dope. This felt good.